Hey guys, Dark Skeleton here to continue covering the legendary cards for each class in the Goblins vs. Gnomes expansion set. And these cards are all basically being dumped right now, hearthstone.com if you want to check them out. So right now we have the Malorne card, the card I decided not to vote for because it's a piece of steak. And it's still a piece of steak, but it is an interesting card to play. This is a 7 mana minion that's a 9/7 and also a beast. But his Deathrattle effect is to shuffle him back into your deck. Effectively, he's indestructible from anything short of a silence. Now, you might also remember a card I covered a few days ago, which is a Druid common, I believe, in the new set, called Druid of the Fang, which is a 5 mana minion, 4/4, but when it's played when there's a beast on the field, it becomes a 7/7. That card definitely synergizes with Malorne. But I think that the real value of playing a card like this would be something in more of a mill deck, because as long as Malorne never gets silenced, you can keep drawing him turn after turn after turn. It would be a bit harder for you to fatigue than your opponent since you can keep shuffling him back into your deck. Now, if you were really trying to play a serious mill deck, your opponent would probably be way closer to fatigue than you in the first place. But it's still a nice minion. It's bulky, it's good for stalling because you can keep rounding it into things turn after turn. And if you were going to do a beast variant of the deck, then getting out those 7/7 Druids of the Fang could be pretty good too. But in the current standard Druid deck, does it really have a place? Because usually in a current standard Druid deck, you're just waiting around to get the Savage Roar combos. And actually, the more you keep drawing into Malorne in a deck like that, the longer it's going to take for you to draw a Savage Roar, so it might not be the best card for a standard deck. But anything that tries to stall a lot, like a Taunt Druid deck or a Mill Druid deck, might be able to make some good use of this card. Also, of course, if Beast Druid ever becomes a thing, this guy would probably want to be running that. It's interesting, but I don't know if it's going to see all that much practical play, because it seems like a pretty niche card, to be honest. As far as arena mode goes, it could be an acceptable pickup. 9/7 stats is pretty decent for 7 mana. And once you can play him, drawing into another 7 mana Malorne would actually be a good thing. One problem that a lot of arena decks tend to run into is as their hand gets empty, it becomes a top deck war, and if you're top decking 1 or 2 mana cost minions, then you might as well just surrender because you aren't going to be able to come back from that. But if you're top decking 1, 2, or 3 Malorne cards back to back, then that could actually be pretty solid. So as far as arena goes, I think it'll be an above average card even without the beast synergy. So it'll kind of be wait and see to see exactly where this piece of steak goes. But overall, I'm still glad I picked Gazrella because Gazrella is freaking awesome. If you use a Matter Bomber on a Gazrella and hit it 6 times, then you can buff Gazrella to 384 attack. Now that's a finisher. I've been Dark Skeleton, I hope you enjoyed watching, and if you do enjoy my videos, please consider donating to my Patreon. I'll see you all next time.